Tea Time Cats Saint Meow Town. Okay, so we had a figure earlier by Alta almost showing her Meow Meow, and now we have a Meow figure over here by Rebos. Hi and welcome back to the channel, Steven with your weekly figure news fix. This time around 1st to 6th of July 2024, we are officially into the second half of the year. And this week is a really weird week. Or maybe it is not, because we have new stuff launching in the world of gaming, perhaps. With genuine figures, it is just as busy as last week, a lot of new figures. But I think the main highlight is we got spammed like a dozen different Nijisanji figures in one single day. More like within 2 days, Thursday and Friday, we got like 10 new figures from this VTuber franchise alone. Like, what the heck? Meanwhile, on the third-party side, about 1/3 of all of the new figures on pre-order, they are all from Zenless Zone Zero, miHoYo's new game, which just launched this week as well. I was thinking of giving it a try, but I don't know yet because time constraint is a serious issue. Alright, let's begin with genuine figures on pre-order, making use of Hobby Link Japan, our affiliate partner. And as usual, I have chosen figures I want to cover. We don't have many 1x4 scales this week. One on HLJ, and I think only one over at AmiAmi later on. No binding stuff. Okay, the first one, 1x4 scale. Senran Kagura again. We have Gecko Bunny version by Freeing going for 37,000 yen. Coming out in March next year, which is like, yeah, 8-9 months away, which is fair enough. With the color scheme of this figure, not my kind of thing, simply because it looks a bit bland, you know. I love vibrant, saturated colors, so this is not my kind of thing. But for Senran Kagura collectors, and especially the 1x4 collectors, do pick one up, right? Moving on to the next one over here. Okay, we have a bunch of 1x6 scale original art characters by Chinese brands. I don't know if this company, Deities Collector, is a Chinese brand. I don't know anything yet. But boy, these characters are amazing. I mean, the character design alone is so attractive that after seeing the figure, you feel like you just want to hit the pre-order button. Yeah. And this is the thing with figure collectors, specifically like me, where I don't buy figures based on whether I know the character or not, whether I like the character or not. As long as the design is attractive to me, I might consider, and that is how I got into FGO and so on, even though I don't really play the game, right? So with the first one over here, Deities Collector, like I said earlier, I don't know this is Japanese or Chinese yet, but this is pretty expensive if it turns out to be Chinese, you know. 1x6 scale Mo Ujia or Mo 00 Jia, whatever. 9 Dio Mio Deluxe Edition, going for almost 34,000 yen, coming out in June next year. So on the surface, this is a very simple figure, just a girl in bikini and skirt. Is that a skirt? I think so. Yeah, partially removing her undergarment. So I have no idea why a figure like this, even if it is a 1x6 scale, is going for as high as 34,000 yen. It feels excessive to me. Yeah. And of course, I won't go through the pictures because, you know, I'm too lazy to censor stuff. I think this is a very attractive figure despite the simplicity. The 10 lines are the main highlights over here. It is very well executed. And if you are not interested in the wall scroll, there is a standard version for still a very pricey 31,000 yen. Maybe we are getting two entire figures, like, you know, one is partially casted off like this and the other one is completely cast off. I don't know. But if we are indeed getting two entire figures, then the 30,000+ yen pricing is beginning to make some sense. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, we just call her Milk Tank. Like, she is an NPC, a background character, doesn't even have a proper name over here. Just Milk Tank. And a pricey 31,400 yen, where the deluxe version you're getting an acrylic stand, which is nice. Okay, I actually prefer acrylic stands over a wall scroll because I don't want to paste or hang up stuff on my wall, because that would mean more nails into the walls and, you know, all this adhesive that would ruin my paintwork on the wall. So having acrylic stand is a bit of a different story because I can display it next to my figure. Yeah. Okay, this one, 31,400, very expensive. And the standard version without the acrylic standee is 28,000 yen, still pretty expensive. Okay, Eclipse Feather, once again, I need to do my homework. I am reacting to this figure for the first time, you see. So I know nothing about this new company yet. We already have two companies with the name Eclipse. I think it was Eclipse something and whatever. Right? This is the third company with a very similar name. I wonder if they are related. Okay, speaking of the character design on this one, this is kind of, how do I put it? A very interesting genre. It is an entire genre in some H anime and also manga, artwork, games, eroge, you know, where they will attach these very high-tech looking machines to milk a human instead of a cow, right? And people actually like this stuff for some reason. So, in a way, I find this figure attractive, not because I like this genre, but because while this genre has been going on for a long time in the world of eroge games and so on, it is not common at all among anime figures. So in that sense, I find this figure kind of attractive for being different from everything else out there. Yeah. Will I buy one? Probably not. Like, I would love to have one, but this is expensive and I have other priorities, so I'll be skipping this one. Okay, moving on to the next one. In my opinion, this is top 3 best looking original character this week. Yeah, among the figures, of course. BB Buttons. This is a Chinese brand confirmed. BB Buttons, 1/6 skill, Kin Mirai Nekomata Mio Deluxe Edition. Again, where you get a wall scroll for 24k. 1/6 skill, 24k, this feels better in terms of the value, the pricing over there. Like earlier, we have 1/6 skill at over 30k. 24 is a lot better for sure. And yeah, this is not an edgy figure. I don't think this is cast off a bird at all, but that is not a problem to me. That is not the reason why I buy anime figures, right? Personally, I find the sculpting on this figure extremely attractive. Like, you see all of those muscles around the waist region. Yeah, she has 6 packs, man. Someone needs to tell Darkness from Konosuba that it is okay to have a slight 6-pack over there, because at least on this figure, it looks amazing. It looks very attractive to me, in my opinion. In the original artwork on the right side, as you guys can see, I think the artist did not give her that much muscles, but it is very emphasized over here on the figure sculpt. Yeah, it is different from the artwork, but is it a bad thing? I don't think so. I think it is really nice. Meanwhile, the standard version is 22k, very good purchase in my opinion. Yeah, when I posted this figure on my Facebook page, she was very popular for a very good reason. Moving on to the next one, I like this one even more than the one by BB Buttons. So this is by Hobby Sakura, Chinese brand, 1/7 skill, Yingmo illustration by An Yasui, Deluxe Edition, 29,000 yen, where you get an extra tail, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, last picture over here. This is what you're getting for the Deluxe Edition. Like, what? The standard version does not have a tail? I'm not too sure. But regardless, this is not wall scroll stuff, so I would definitely go for the deluxe in this case. Standard version, 27k. For this one, get the 29k, right? I haven't purchased any single Hobby Sakura figure yet, so far. If there is one that would really convince me to buy, it would be this one right here. Very expensive, 29,000 yen, but I can see why. This is a complex figure with, you know, all that red color skirts going on, huge robes, and yeah, a huge tail behind her. That base is very attractive as well. There is almost nothing not to like about this figure. And Hobby Sakura now, by today, they have an excellent track record in quality. So, wow. I am very interested. Yes, I might get this figure from China's Taobao because I would prefer to buy Chinese brand from China, you know. As a content creator, as a YouTuber, who knows? I might get the figure earlier than those people, everyone else who pre-ordered from Japanese sites. So yeah, I'll check her out later. I'm normally not the kind who pre-order figures impulsively. I see something I like, I wait for a week later and I ask myself, do you still want it? So that I don't end up buying things that I don't need, you know? Yeah, but after a week, if I still want it, I might pre-order this one. I really like this a lot. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. By freeing, this is a 1/6 skill. Ruri Hoshino from Martian successor Nadeshiko. Just a couple of days ago, I checked out a third party where she is getting abused in 69 different ways. That was amazing. But if you want something safe for work, then this is not necessarily a bad buy at only 18,000 yen. Yeah. Last week, we had 2 figures by freeing at 1/6 skill going on pre-order from Dolphin Wave. They had melons on their chest, so those were 20,000 yen each. This one is Petan, as flat as myself. I think even mine is bigger than hers, I think. And she goes for 2,000 yen cheaper at 18k. So obviously, those melons require money to make. More materials, I suppose. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. More original characters. I should have arranged things in a way where Hobby Sakura stuff are grouped together. But anyways, there are 2 versions of this figure. 2 different color versions, right? 22,000 yen at 1/7 scale. Original character Imp at 22k January release. Oh, that's really fast. January. Half a year away. Okay, so there is the black color version you're looking on screen over here, and also the pink color one. They call it unique color version. Which one do you prefer? I suppose that the male characters are collectors. The dude collectors will be buying the black one. The girls will be buying the pink one, right? For me, I think I'm leaning towards the pink color one. Maybe because the colors are like it is vibrant and so shiny in a way. Like how do I put it? This is just not just normal pink color. It is a bit glitter or glossy in a way, so it really appeals to me. Normally, I'm not a fan of such paintwork for photography purposes because they are way too reflective and it is a pain to adjust lighting. But for the sake of being a display piece, I think I like these effects over here on the pink color version. Both are of the same price, so you pick your poison. I'm leaning towards this one a bit more. Character design wise, very pretty. Like Hobby Sakura is on a roll lately. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have one Hatsune Miku figure this week. Racing Miku 2021 Vacation Style. By Wonderful Works, 25,700 yen after a small discount. The original price of 27k in my opinion is very overpriced for what you're getting. Even though there is a bar stool over there and yeah, a suitcase, a luggage bag. Yeah, I still think it is a bit overpriced over here. August release, that is next year by the way. Now this is really reminiscent of the Saber Artoria Vacation Style as well by Aniplex back in year 2017 also. I remember a figure from 7 or 8 years ago because I was contemplating buying one myself for photography reasons. Yeah, I love photographing anime figures, but in the end I did not buy that one because you just can't buy everything you want. I do like this Miku figure, but what I don't like is the price. And speaking of Wonderful Works, right? I have only reviewed one single figure from them, which was that Genshin Impact figure. That astrologist. What is her name again? I'm just so bad at recalling names. But anyways, that figure was okay, but I wouldn't give Wonderful Works an A ranking in terms of quality and detail level. They are more like B or B+. Yeah, not bad, but not too great either. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. V Singer Luo Tianyi by A Dimension. I've never heard of them. Almost 30,000 yen, March release next year. And given that this is V Singer we are talking about, most likely A Dimension is a Chinese brand. Most likely. Okay, a lot of heavy details for 30k. I wouldn't say that is bad price at all. And this figure reminds me of something that Miatos would totally do. Like this is totally their style, their kinds of figure. I wonder if they are related to Miatos in any way. Okay, for this one, this is a safe figure. We can just scroll through a little bit. And oh, I love the fan she is holding right here. Not the kind of figure I would buy, but wow. I would love to at least photograph or even review it, you know. So much stuff going on, man. She is holding 2 giant fans, and behind her there is this musical instrument, traditional Chinese. I don't know what it is called, but yeah, for 30k, this is worth it. Seriously. There are a few Luo Tianyi figures out there already, but this is perhaps the most impressive one so far. Moving up to the next figure, we have something from Toho Project, Sakuya Izayoi, okay, by Magic Arts, interestingly. This one is like, an artist with his or her own take on an existing character, a different art style. So this is something subjective, whether you like her face on this one or not. Yeah, different from the actual game, right? Yeah, a bit different. But anyways, very good looking figure. And Magic Arts, once again, Chinese brand. Chinese brands are really, wow, they are doing amazing work nowadays. This is the deluxe one, 24,500 yen, coming out next April. While the standard version, 23k. I'm not a fan of the color scheme of this figure. Like, I don't collect Toho stuff, but if I were to buy 1 or 2 Toho figures just for the sake of having something from Toho, I wouldn't be buying Sakuya. I think I would buy maybe a Remila Scarlet. Yeah, maybe. I like her a lot more in terms of character design. Next one over here, we have a pair of Nier Automata figures by Prof. Okay, 2B at almost 24,000 yen after a small discount. Yeah, figures by Proof, they are not cheap. Usually 25k and up. This is 25k before discount. Yeah. Coming out this December. That is really fast. Okay, will I get this one? No. I personally think Max Factory did a better job with the pose, with the base and everything. I really appreciate Proof for giving us this diorama base over here. I think the base looks great. Just that I think there are slightly better ones out there, just my own personal preference. And even the Aniplex one that went on pre-order a few months ago, I like that version a lot as well. Yeah, so we'll see. Like, after how many years, finally Japanese figure companies are waking up. Oh, we should take Nier Automata seriously. After third-party resin figure companies had made 400 different figures of 2B. Yeah. And the next one, of course, if there is 2B, there would be 9S, right? I'm sure that the figure brands themselves know that this is not going to sell many of them. But they can't just do 2 characters including 2A and then leave out the guy, right? That would be really sad. So they are selling the figures maybe out of obligation in a way. They can't leave things incomplete. This is also 24k and coming out in January. Moving up to the next one from Goblin Slayer, we have High Elf Archer. Yeah, she doesn't even have a name. They just call her High Elf, I think. The thing is that 25,000 yen for this is a tad bit too expensive at 1/7 scale. Yeah. There are like 1 or 2 other different scale figures of her, I think. The weird thing about Kadokawa figures is that some of them can be really overpriced, while others will be inexplicably cheap for some reason. Yeah. Kadokawa is holding all of the licenses for this anime series and franchise, yet maybe the licensing cost is different for each of them. So yeah, the price variation is pretty odd in a way. They have amazing saber figures with a like kimono or yukata with an umbrella for 22,000 yen. That was a pretty complex looking figure. This one, 25k. I don't know, man. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Kadokawa. You see, when this figure was announced in Smilefest 2024 and I did a coverage more than a week ago, I accused Kadokawa of copying Good Smile. Like, we saw Good Smile's version for 30,000 yen. What can we do to copy the same concept of Makise Kuisu lying on a bunch of retro-looking computers, monitors, and so on, yet do it differently in some way? I accuse them of copying Good Smile, right? The concept maybe, but everything else, they are entirely different. I said so for entertainment reasons, of course. What this figure caught me by surprise is LEDs inside the 4 monitors over here. Now, please let me apologize to Kadokawa and take back my criticism earlier for saying that they are copying Good Smile, but this is a very nice take on a very similar concept. Like, imagine displaying this figure in the dark or in a really dark looking diorama, and then you let the screens glow. Yeah, I would really love to photograph this thing in a diorama, man. One that I make on my own. I really want this one. And now that I know this one has an LED, and I did not purchase the Good Smile version because I am too poor, maybe I don't feel that bad anymore. I would settle for this one, seriously. Yeah. The weird part, however, is that there is one other version with no LEDs inside for only 1,000 yen cheaper. Personally, I don't know why this version even exists. It is only 1,000 yen. If you are spending 30,000 yen on a figure, I think a plus minus 1,000 yen is hardly relevant. So I don't think this version needs to exist at all. Yeah, for everyone else, yes, please pre-order this one, the one with LEDs. Moving on to the next one, this is also among the most attractive figures this week. The only disappointment, in my opinion, is that this is at 1/8 scale, not 1/7. This one actually was announced in One Fest last year, I think, or Mega Hobby Expo late last year. And I was already keeping an eye on this one ever since. Now that this is 1/8 scale at 16,000 yen, the good news is that at 1/8 scale and this sitting pose, yeah, the box would be tiny and very cheap to ship this figure. So shipping would be nice. But 1/8 feels small. Can't have everything, I suppose. Like, I would rather pay 20,000 yen for 1/7. And this would be amazing value because indirectly you're getting 3 figures for 16k, right? I have no complaints at all other than the scale. Maybe 1/8 is a bit sad. Right, please pre-order it. I think this is a really good buy and one of the most unique Aqua Ruby figures out there. I mean, since when was the last time you saw a figure of a mother with her children? Not common, right? Yeah. Moving on to the next figure, we have one of the worst figures this week. Yeah, I am not even being subtle with my criticisms anymore. From Hobby Stock, they are known for their 1/4 scale, especially Senran Kagura figures, which were really cheap, 30,000 yen each for 1/4. Now they are doing this 1/4 scale Asuna figure from Suck Ass Online rather than Sword Art Online, because this figure really sucks ass. For 16,200 yen only, November release, which is like 4 months away, and even at only 16k, I would say stay away from this one. Why would you buy something so low in detail level when there are many other better looking Asuna figures out there? I mean, put in some effort. Go and hunt for them in, who knows, Mandarake, for example, AmiAmi pre-owned section, or even, anywhere else that sells used stuff. And you'll come across better Asuna figures from other brands, right? So, no, I can't recommend this one at all. Moving on to the next figure, we have one single Blue Archive figure, Mika Call of the Stars by Good Smile, 22,500 yen. Yeah, Good Smile is really nailing it recently with their value offerings. They are making very nice looking and highly detailed figures, and then they'll be asking for 18,000 yen and rarely more than 25k, unless it is a Hatsune Miku, because Hatsune Miku people, they are really easy to scam, just like FGO collectors, you know, so they put a premium on the pricing. But everything else so far has been great value. So this is not my favorite character design from Blue Archive. I am going to skip this one even though I love Blue Archive. But for everyone else who like Mika, yes, pre-order one. I think 22,500 yen is fair, very fair for something like this. Not to mention the figure is floating in mid-air in a way, a unique base. Just that if there is a concern I have, does anyone remember Godoka? That God Madoka figure by Good Smile many years ago, where, For those of you who own one, you know what happens, right? After a few years, the adhesive, the glue would fail, and then the figure would just fall over because, yeah, the figure was heavy and then it was attached to one single stand at the back of the figure, and this Mika figure over here is exactly the same. So many years has passed. I don't know if Good Smile has made any improvements over time to make sure this does not happen again, but that is one thing to bear in mind when you pre-order a figure like this one. We call it a levitating figure, something that appears to be floating, right? Okay, moving on to the next one, we have, okay, interestingly, this is by Silver Link. Yeah, they normally produce animes. Fate Khalid Prisma Ilya leaked. Yeah, Ilyas Viel von Einsburg. Like, I don't think modern Germans would have names like this anymore, right? Okay, this is under 20,000 yen, March release next year. If there is Ilya, there has to be her BLM version, right? Kugo or Chloe. I think she will be on pre-order next week, I think. And no pictures over here. Where is her BLM version? Okay, not my favorite Ilya figure. I prefer a character like this to have as little clothes as possible. Amakuni still takes the cake for that figure of theirs from 10 years ago that is rare AF. Though Kadokawa made something very similar recently, I think it was last year. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have Gokyobu Double S. This is so random. I watched this anime, both seasons back then. Basically, this is Slam Dunk, but lollies. Like literally 10 to 12 years old. Yeah. So, you just have to respect the Japanese for dressing up a 12-year-old in a lingerie like this, which is something normally adults wear in a bedroom to seduce someone. Any one of you from Canada watching this? Will your government or will the customs have a problem with something like this? Because I heard with figures like this, they might. Anyways, Tomoka Minato Kamomimi laundry version for almost 23,000 yen by Kaitendo. Kaitendo is a B- or grade C figure company, by the way. Detail level is on the low side, but their figures in general is okay. Just that don't expect too much details or high quality paintwork from them. January release is pretty soon. Okay, I wonder how many of you still remember Gokyobo. This anime was like 10 years old. Yeah, it aired in early 2010s, I think. I was still in college when I watched the series back then. Moving on to the next figure. Okay, here we go with Nijisanji. I don't know how many of them, but maybe there are at least 8 or even 10 of them over here. Yeah, I did not count. Starting off with my favorite one among all of them, Elira Pandora with PIKL summer version. Okay, from Nijisanji EN. Is it the Nijisanji batch that had a lot of scandals? Is it this one? Nijisanji EN? I don't know, man. I'm not following the news over there. By Cyber Agent. Never heard of them. And maybe it is Nijisanji themselves trying to get their hands into the figure industry so that they can make some money after all of the scandals that happens, you know. Okay, 30,000 yen, which is very expensive for 1/7 scale, coming out in July next year. And given that, yeah, this is so overpriced for a 1/7 scale figure, yeah, Nijisanji is definitely asking for a lot of money. In terms of licensing cost, that is definitely the main reason over here. However, the character design for Elira, I love it. Right? I just said earlier, this is my favorite among all these figures that just went on pre-order from Nijisanji this past week, or rather only Thursday and Friday. I love the blue color and the paint work on this one. Yeah. And the next one, my second favorite perhaps, yeah, I love details. So this is Anna Elouette. Anyways, 31,000 yen by Cyber Agent as well. July release next year. Okay, so if there is one thing I really like about this figure is that these two objects behind her, it appears as if they are really floating in mid-air. When they are attached to the back of the figure in some way, no plastic rods supporting it. So yeah, the floating effect in some way is very nice, very nicely executed. Yeah, there is a transparent rod over here, I think. Let me take a look at the back of the figure. Yeah, they are transparent rods, but not very obvious. Oh no, it is not transparent. It is a metal rod, and I think that is even better. And look at this paintwork, man. A violet, purple, blue. Oh, this is really nice. But 31k, no. I don't think I want to touch idol stuff or VTuber stuff anymore. I used to collect Idol Master, but I quit. Right? The next Nijisanji figure, we have some JKs. Yeah, they're wearing what looks like JK outfit to me. Very similar at least. This is Sasaki Saku 21,000 yen by Design Coco. Okay, Design Coco, their figures are fine. They are like grade A, tier A figure company. And the best thing about Design Coco is that their stuff are not expensive. I was certain that they are going to pay a huge amount of licensing cost to make this figure. You need to remember that Design Coco had a Hatsune Miku Senbon Zakura figure going for only 14 or 15,000 yen. So this could have been a 15,000 yen figure because it is a really simple one, but because of the license, this is 21k. Yes, it is expensive, but I think I can sort of understand why it is expensive. Oh god, someone's alarm is going off in the background. Anyway, let's continue. The next one over here, are they twins? No, right? The color scheme is so similar. Shina Yuika from Nijisanji, once again, also by Design Coco, 21,000 yen, May release. Yeah, a bit too simple to my liking. Not something I would buy. This almost feels like I'm looking at Sakura Miku in a way. Moving up to the next one, another Nijisanji figure, not Uma Musume. We have Tsukino Mito, 21,000 yen by Design Coco as well. June release. Now, this one, I don't like it simply for the reason, the overall vibe given off by this figure, it is like very dark. Yeah. Black hair, dark color clothes, not my kind of thing. Other than that, let's have a close look at the figure. Yeah, I could have mistaken this for something from Uma Musume, man. Next one. Okay, we have a few dudes over here, or Bishonen. Kenmochi Toya by Design Coco, 21,000 yen. So this is a guy, but also 1/7 scale. This is going to be taller than the girls, I suppose. Of course, not the kind of figures I would buy, but I love the outfits over here. Yeah. In general, I don't have much comment for male characters, right? Okay, this is quite nice. I like this one actually. Shu Yamino Summer version by Cyber Agent. Man, if it is a Cyber Agent figure, it will be expensive AF. This is 29,000 yen and way too expensive for what it is. Yeah, I love the flame crystal over here, right? And here we have a very nice photo of him, but 29k is too much. Up next, we have Alban Knox by Cyber Agent, 27,000 yen. Yes, I think you guys know what I'm thinking over here. Will the figure lean? There is a lot of lean over there. Maybe if where you live does not have heat waves. You know, the US is suffering from heat waves several times a year, every year. And California is like barbecue every year during summer. So yeah, I'm a bit concerned with the way the figure is being plugged into the base, but otherwise, very attractive looking figure in terms of the color scheme. The next one, another Nijisanji figure, Luka Kaneshiro. 27,000 yen by Cyber Agent, July release as well. Every single figure are coming out in the same month. I'm also a bit concerned, maybe they'll be delayed, you know. This one, I really like the outfit. Yeah, I really like it. Very stylish, very swag in a way. And you see, Design Coco put more effort into the base compared to Cyber Agent, yet asking for less money. Yeah, moving on to the next one. Finally, we are done with Nijisanji. Lala Stunning Devaluke made version by To Love Good Darkness. This is an altar figure, only 16,000 yen because this is a re-release. I do have this figure. Never reviewed it on YouTube because back then when I purchased this figure, yeah, the channel does not exist yet. I'm not sure if I want to review it when Hapansu is, coming off. Like, Is YouTube okay with it? I don't know, man. Yeah. Should you get one? My answer, as an owner of this figure and I still have her at home, a big yes. Right? As long your family members are fine with figures like this. This is not an edgy figure. The panzo is not removable. I'm telling you that first because I don't want you to be disappointed. But I think a strip tease is better than being completely hadaka because a tease makes your imagination run wild. Yeah, just like, with JK's, Joshiko says, I think a partially undressed one is better than a completely hadaka one. Okay, moving on to the next figure. Tea Time Cats Scene Meow Town. Okay, so we had a figure earlier by Outer almost showing her Meow Meow, and now we have a Meow figure over here by Rebos going for 18,600 yen, where you're getting everything in this picture over here. Great value. Yeah, Rebos is also one of the top Chinese figure brands out there. Top 5, top 10, I don't know, because there are too many good Chinese figure brands nowadays. If you are into this kind of thing, yeah, buy it. And in fact, I can see all of the props and accessories included with this figure over here being usable for Nandoroids. Yeah, if you collect Nandos, you might want to take a look at this figure over here. I think you can mix up the accessories, yeah, and create a scene from it. Moving on to the next figure. I'm not sure if this went on pre-order on AmiAmi a week or 2 weeks ago, but it was just listed on HLJ a few days ago. Yeah, Marida Cross from Gundam Unicorn. More like her name is Player 12, right? She is a clone of some kind. Gundam Unicorn was great. I think it is a bit difficult to digest for people who are not into Gundam or they don't know the history behind Universal Century, but animation quality wise, oh, beautiful. Now, this is a re-release apparently by Mega House for only 16,000 yen. How many of you who collect or build Gunpla and you also collect figures of human Gundam characters? Let me know down in the comments below. I don't know many, right? Most people I know who mess around with Gunpla, be it customization or a straight build, they don't collect figures. Yeah, people who do both are quite rare actually. Moving on to the next one over here. Okay, this is also... I think she looks fine. No, Cammy is top 3 my favorite characters in Street Fighter together with Juri, and what would be my third pick? I'm not too sure, but top 2 my favorite. So I will be a bit more strict with finding faults with any Cammy or Juri figure. Yeah. So this is Cammy from Street Fighter 6. Once again, I prefer her older character design where she is wearing some sort of a one-piece leotard, green color one. I prefer that one a lot more. But regardless, I have complained about this way too many times, so I'll just stop right here and we check out the figure. If you tell me this Cammy figure looks a bit weird, I think I would agree. Like, I don't trust Square Enix at all for making a decent figure. Why would I trust Capcom for making a good figure, right? They are sort of in the same position. They are game production, game developer companies who are dipping their toes into making figures, and I don't expect them to do a good job unless they outsource it to a third-party white label manufacturer who knows what they are doing, right? This is a bit more of an anime take to the face. Yeah, I've seen way too many realistic figures of her to know anymore which is the correct one. Anyways, 22,200 yen. Fair enough, I would say the pricing is fair, just that I don't know what the quality of Capcom is like, and I would be setting my expectations really low because of what I know about Square Enix in general. Moving on to the next scale figure, the last 2 are by Kotobukiya, Art FX series. Nero from Devil May Cry, 26,500 yen, wow. License, man, the license cost. It is very rare for a Kotobukiya Art FX figure to be this expensive. Yeah, license has to be the biggest evil over here. And the last one, of course, Devil May Cry Dante. For a very similar price, 24,500 yen. Is it worth it? I suppose that there are not many Devil May Cry scale figures out there. You are forced to accept this pricing over here regardless of whether you like it or not. And that is all for genuine skill figures, the expensive ones on HLJ. Now we move on to the budget stuff. Pop-up Parade Fern from Freewen Beyond Journey's End by Good Smile, 4,000 yen December release. No, skip this one please. Skip this, save up longer, buy the Kotobukiya or Good Smile skill figures if you can. But if your budget is really restricted, then I think look around price figures or something. This is not worth 4,000 yen. I know that pop parades are supposed to be cheap and cheerful, but this is way too low effort. Coming from Good Smile, at least let her hold her staff or something. Yeah, my pop-up parade Megumin figure, she's holding her staff. Why not this one, right? They cut way too much corners over here. Moving on to the next one, we have Speed O Sound Sonic from One Punch Man, 4,000 yen as well, December release. Now, this one is an okay purchase in my opinion. Yeah, very dynamic pose for a 4,000 yen figure, and yeah, decent levels of detail compared to Fern earlier. Moving on to the next one, we have a re-release of Gogura, and I am not surprised at all. I did not bother to check her market value over in AmiAmi pre-owns or elsewhere, but I would bet that she is going for 9,000 or 10,000 yen pre-owns. Yeah, because that was exactly what happened to many other Hololive figures in the Pop-Up Parade line. And please do not pay 9 or 10,000 yen for a Pop-Up Parade. You would lose all my respect for doing that. Okay, moving on to the next one, Pop-Up Parade L size Shogo Makishima. I think he is the villain in the third season, I think. Yeah, third season, the villain. Yeah, 8,000 yen before discounts, coming out this December. Does this mean they are making Pop-Up Parade Ls for other characters? That would be amazing for sure. Yeah, Psycho-Pass does not get many skill figures. They used to have skills in the past. I can't remember which company did it, but not many of them. Next one, what do we have? Okay, Mega House GEM, palm size, Gegege, Kitaro. This is like 1960s, 1970s stuff. So no thank you. I'm not interested in them. And last figure on HLJ, Mega House Melty Princess series, also tiny palm size figures as you can see over here. Yeah, Aries from Mushoku Tensei, 8,000 yen before discount as well. Yeah, this would be, spoiler alert, Rudia's third waifu. So he will surpass his father in terms of the number of waifus, perhaps in season 3, I think. Okay, she is way too way too brute and way too manly for my taste, to be honest. Like, I like women who are feminine. Like, she is outright a gorilla, at least in season 1. I don't like her character. Okay, moving on to the next one. Now we are entering AmiAmi, and I have no idea what happened. I am fairly certain this figure was already on pre-order months ago, but it is on the front page of AmiAmi again as an exclusive. So maybe they are not selling enough, so they bumped the figure up the front page. I'm not too sure. Annette from Phantasy Star Online 2 ES, yeah, 23k. I think it is a good buy for Phantasy Star collectors because this is Amakuni we're talking about, and they knowingly overpriced their figures because they know they are very good at it, right? Okay, moving on to the next one, AmiAmi exclusive, we have Centaur. Beachside Undine version, 1/6 skill by Daiki Kogyo. 40,700 yen, ouch! This is like they took a Tony Taka artwork character and then they just simply stick some ship parts behind her and call her an Azalin character. If you told me this character is from Shining Wind, I would believe you. Seriously. Yeah, trademark Tony Taka art character. No, this is not from Azalin. This is from Shining Wind or something along the Shining series of games, you know. 40,000 yen, in my opinion, is overpriced, right? This is overpriced. Okay, Daiki Kogyo is that company who had been doing well selling ecchi figures until they are no longer profiting that much anymore in recent years. So they turned to Azalin in order to make some money. Yeah, when you have financial issues, you go for Azalin. Normally, they would make ecchi figures of original art characters, and that is not necessarily a bad business model. I mean, you look at Hobby Sakura, right? They are really hitting their strides. They are doing a great work. So I think Daiki just have to choose the right characters rather than, betting on Azalane to save themselves. B tier company, once again, the quality is just average. Moving on to the next one. Okay, Mega House. Of course, AmiAmi exclusive. We have Precious GEM series. Nagisa from Evangelion, 24,200 yen. My first question would be how small the figure is. Okay, let's have a look at the dimensions below. 25 centimeters. Yeah, it is small, right? The base alone takes up 1/4, a quarter of the overall height of the figure. It is small, to be expected of Mega House GEM. December release very soon. Alright. I would buy an albedo, not this, if I want those wings. Moving on to the next one, we have another AmiAmi exclusive Cowboy Bebop classic. Spiegel or Spiegel, how to pronounce that? By Mega House once again, 31,000 yen almost, coming out this December. Why are they releasing so fast, man? It has to be a small figure. It is expensive because of the base, yeah. Dimensions 1/8 scale. Yeah. Dimensions 1/8 scale over here. Alright. Moving on to the next one. We have Mega House Lucria series. Seduction Lilial. What is this thing? I have no idea. Never heard of Seduction Lilial. 22,000 yen coming out this December as well. Alright, she is cute, but that is about it. What is this thing? Kind of meh. Moving on to the next one. Another exclusive by Kotobuki Yado. Darkstalkers Bishoujo Lilith Limited Edition. 16,500 yen. As for the color scheme, I think I still prefer the original color. But this is not too bad. This is quite attractive as well. Mixing turquoise bluish with that purple not lavender. What is that? Anyways, the color combination is quite nice, right? And even if she is as flat as an airport's runway, I think the waist region and the hip region is quite attractive, so I'm not complaining, not at this price. Next figure, this is not an exclusive, just that HLJ has not listed it yet. Hakoiwi Musume. And wow, you see you're getting a 1/6 scale. Chizuru Mizuhara with that diorama, the whole set for under 23,000 yen, absolute bargain. Get one, right? This is actually a second recolor. This figure came out once before in a different color, and I think this new recolor version is even better looking than the previous one. Almost white color lingerie, but there is a slight pink color tinge to it. I love it. This new version is actually better. Yeah. Get one. This is great. Like, the detail level on the figure is not very high, I can tell. But at this price point, I'm not going to complain. Moving on to the next one. This is weird, right? A cheap, low-budget Chinese figure. Being an AmiAmi exclusive. Yes, this is an AmiAmi exclusive. Muma Komurasaki Bunny version illustration by Ohisashiburi. 1/6 scale by Ascendia. Only 6,600 yen. Yes, grab one. I know this is a bunny girl, but 6,600, and I like the color scheme on this one a lot. Yeah. I am not going to pre-order one now, I think, but I might get one after release. We'll see. I like the character design over here. Moving up to the next one, yeah, the last two are ecchi figures in the AmiAmi mature section. Kanazuki Noboru Olivia, 1/5, nice. So lewd nuns are very popular nowadays, and you can have one at 33,000 yen at 1/5 scale by Native, one of the best ecchi figure brands in the business. Yeah, get one. You just look at the character design, you like it, you hit that pre-order button. In the past, it was really difficult to get Native figures, but nowadays AmiAmi offers them. Should make use of the opportunity, seriously. I like this one. And the last figure for today, wow, this is so black that it is darker than my future. The whole figure is black. Binding Creator's Opinion, Black Bunny Mera, 1/6 scale. I think this is more like Jing Liu selling herself in the nightclub because she is not making enough money from her day job. Okay, 27,500 yen, 1/6. Binding making 1/6 now. Okay, I suppose that they have to. Nowadays, figures are getting way too expensive. In fact, I think Binding should do 1/6 and 1/4, two different versions of the same figure for every single figure they make, because why not, right? You will be able to sell more products by giving people more varieties to choose from. Okay, just a bunny girl with a blindfold, right? I like the pose, but the color scheme is turning me off a little bit. And that is all for AmiAmi. Now we make a quick last stop at Ninin Game for all of the beautiful Fort Japan Insight figures, which no one else will willingly sell to international customers because they are more fragile than the feelings of your ex-girlfriends, if you have any. Okay, the first one over here, we have Oni Miko from Insight as usual. Ninin Games website is bugged out. They won't show me in Japanese yen, and you get to purchase her at either 1/6 scale at about 19,000 yen or 1/4 scale at 27,000 yen, right? Plus minus. Okay, go and check out the figure yourself. I can't show anything else otherwise. The next Insight figure, oh wow. A nurse who is a specialist in ED, I suppose. Takamine-san 1/6 scale at 19k once again, or 1/4 at 27k. Me, I'm not a fan of giant Oppai figures. I said that a bazillion times. So yeah, check her out if you are interested. Huge jacks, by the way. Moving on to the next one. Okay, I think there are 4 versions of this figure. Under her skirt is... okay, Suzu rope version. You already know what that rope is, right? 1/4 scale, 27k, 1/6, 19k. And then there is another version where it is completely exposed, no rope. And if you were to ask me whether you want that 4-letter word, which I don't think I can mention on YouTube, BD disc. Blu-ray disc. I would rather you go for the BD version. Yeah. Up next, I think there are 4 versions of this figure as well. Yeah, the last 4 figures for today, the girl I often meet at the gym, Nina, 1/6 scale, 19k, 1/4 scale, 27k. And this is her partially undressed, more like almost fully undressed. And there is also one over here where, yeah, you can't see anything because she is wearing a full pant suit of some kind. Now, in this particular case, I think I would advocate for the undressed one instead. Yeah, this is a bit generic, right? 2 versions, 2 different scales as well. And that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Now, we shall move on to third-party resin figures making use of OSGK, which is also this channel's affiliate partner. I have some links down in the descriptions below. Make use of them. Enter these websites HLJ and OSGK via my links, and you can just browse around and buy whatever you want. That would really help out and support this channel. Okay, this week with third parties, Zenless Zone Zero spam because the game just launched, and about a third or a fourth of all of the tabs on top, they are all Zenless Zone Zero stuff, right? Okay, before we begin with new stuff, a quick update. We have 3 updates from last week. I covered these figures last week. So now this figure of Firefly by Huayue Studio, we get to see more pictures and the full picture of the entire figure. Personally, I don't like this Firefly figure that much because number 1, the shape of her head looks really weird over here. And number 2, I could have replaced her head with Asuka's head, and this would be an Evangelion figure. So it doesn't feel unique enough as a Honkai style figure. I hope that makes sense, right? Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, an update as well. This is Arctic Wolf Studio Project Sekai Rabbit Hole Miku. Yeah, this figure was on early bird pre-order with no price last week. Now we have new pictures and a price of up to $254. That is for the deluxe version, including the Hadaka version. So the standard version, now we know the price, it is around $187, not too bad in my opinion. And Arctic Wolf Studio, you can trust them, they are doing a great job nowadays. And the third update for today, yeah, last week, this figure does not have a price. Now we know that she goes for $191. For Marin Kitagawa, which looks like gamer girl by native 7-10 years ago, yeah. Her face looks fine to me on this version, so it is up to you whether you want a figure of Marin Kitagawa undressing or not. At this asking price, I would say it is very reasonable. Okay, as for the new figures, we shall begin with One Piece as usual, but only one Piece figure this week. Viola and Rebecca and Kairos Toy Soldier. Okay, let's have a look. Viola is $137. Different color. There are two color schemes. Oh, okay. White. This one right here. For $137 as well. Rebecca. Oh, are they the same character? Like, is this like a multiple personality character kind of thing? Let me know in the comments below. Like, all of that are her names. Okay, and then Kairos. For $53 must be an add-on accessory or something. Now, let's have a look at the pictures. Okay, her face is really fine. No problems over here. But this is obviously a low-budget resin figure, right? So, which color scheme do you prefer? Oh, I see. The other character over here. Alright. That is the $53 one, I think. Because it is a very simple figure. I really like the paintwork on her shield though, really nice there. And the gold helmet is like seriously chrome metallic gold over there, yeah. Quite an impressive effort for a low budget resin figure. Next one, we have one single Anya figure this week from the Moon Studio. Oh, okay, Anya Forger is, yeah, she likes her spies. So she is dressing up as Detective Conan. Another crossover. Third-party figure brands, they love doing Anya crossovers with other franchises. This is $80, which is fair, but not my kind of figure, you know. Next one over here, we have an Asuka figure, fashion clothes. Now, this is a bit difficult to recommend, even though it is pretty cheap by Ziye Studio, $184 only. And the reason why I said this is difficult to recommend is because, yeah, Hobby Max did a way better job with their Radio Eva series of fashionable looking Evangelion figures. Rei Asuka, everyone, right? I like that Radio Eva series a lot. And if you were to go to Taobao, they were not difficult to find. Yeah, fairly affordable over there. And those Radio Eva figures, yeah, the design of the jacket, the sweaters and everything is way more detailed than this one over here. So this one is a bit difficult to recommend. Moving on to the next one, we have a second Asuka figure. Now this is, yeah, this is easier to recommend, I suppose. For very obvious reasons. Unfortunately, this is $330, not yet confirmed. Can be more expensive or cheaper, but this is 1/5 scale, and at this price, not only you're getting a really horny looking Asuka, you're getting a bunch of tables, school desk, and a chair. So that is not bad at all. Oh no, this is 1/6 scale, not 1/5. I believe this product listing is a typo because this product picture directly from the manufacturer says 1/6. And personally, I would prefer 1/6 over 1/5 if I were to buy something like this, because I want those school desks as a prop for my other figure photography projects. So I want them to be a normal scale rather than an unusual scale, you know. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh, we have a life-sized girlfriend. For those of you who can't find a proper girlfriend and you are single AF, then you might want to consider this one. We have a 1/1 scale life-sized Tifa silicone movable statue. You already know what it is underneath, by the way. By Singdong Studio, and this is about $1,400 US. Yeah, plus minus $200, I suppose, because you need to ship it, you know. But for a life size, that is not expensive at all, because there are other life-sized statues out there going for $2,000 and up. Yeah, and you can also buy this one at half scale, 1/2 scale for $776. No, just go all out, right? Buy the life-sized one. Yeah. Next, we have a 1/4 scale 2B figure by PK Studio. 1/4 and 1/6 you get to choose actually. 1/6 scale black version $298 and 1/4 scale $432. And there is a platinum version. Why is the platinum version more expensive? Is the white paint more expensive than the black paint? But I think I prefer to be in black color anyways, you know. No, if I were to get a 1x4 scale 2B figure today, I think at the very top of my favorite would be the ones made by, oh crap, I can't remember yeah, Cool Bear Studio. That would be my number one pick today. If I were to get a 1x4 scale 2B from Nier Automata, I would look at Cool Bear Studio first. And it seems like they're making several different versions of her, but more expensive though, 600 plus US dollars. Yeah. This is okay, but I have other preferences. Moving on to the next one from PJS Studio, we have Usada Pekora Mama. So this is her mom. Her mom is a VTuber too. Yeah, I am not very knowledgeable in this regard, VTuber stuff. Let me know in the comments below. So if her mom is indeed appearing online as well, it is a bit surprising that we don't have any genuine scale figures of her mom yet, right? A bit weird to me. Okay, normal version is going for $208 only. Hidaka version, maybe cheaper than that, lower than 208, because less parts to paint, just a Hidaka body in skin color, so they are normally cheaper. And you can get both for $364. Just that, yeah, number one, I can't show the full picture of this figure. Down there is almost nothing covering. And number two, this is a bit too low effort, both in the paintwork and the detail level, for me to be able to recommend it unless you insist you want a figure of Usada's mama, because you are into MILFs, then I have nothing to say. Personally, I would skip this one and wait for something better. Yeah. Next one here, we have a single figure of Nezuko from Demon Slayer by FIT Studio, $274 US. No release date yet. Okay, let's have a look over here. At one time, like more than a year ago, every single figure company was spamming Nezuko figures, but nowadays we hardly see any new figures of her. Maybe that will change once the Infinite Castle arc starts airing. 3 movies, right? I'm really looking forward to it because the last episode of the Hashira training arc is bonkers, man. Ufotable just flexing how well they can do explosions, and I think their CGI explosions are better than even Michael Bay's explosions over in Transformers movies. Now, getting back to this figure over here, will I get one? No. I love Ufotable for what they do with anime. They are setting the standard, seriously. But I am not buying anything from shonen anime. Nope. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Wow. From Atlas Studio, we have Musashi and Shinano from Azalane. Yeah, I'm not very familiar with Azalane characters, but I'm very certain their opais are very exaggerated. It is not supposed to be this big. But anyways, I don't think I like their clothes at all. Yeah. Once again, we have this trend with 2 pieces of cloth covering the opai, and with this specific version over here, I am not sure if I like the execution at all. Yeah, I love fan service, don't get me wrong, but this is way too fan servicey. Yeah, way too much. Anyways, this is not final price yet. We don't know the price yet. Yeah, no point clicking on them one by one. Clothes A, clothes B, 2 different versions, body A, body B, and deluxe version. There are 4 different versions of this figure. Moving up to the next one, Beast Studio. They call this big breast Hatsune Miku for $191. They are deliberately giving her huge opai because the genuine brands won't do something like this. Yeah, the painted version is $191. So will you buy something like this? Apparently, there are people interested. I received inquiries in my Facebook page, man, on this figure. They are interested. Come on, change your company name to Breast Studio, not B Studio. Just add an R over there, and yeah, it would be really accurate to this figure over here. I don't have a problem with the face, but I don't know about the rest. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Hera Studio, we have Free Run. Alright, this is available in 1x6 scale standing version. Going for $237. Yeah, this one right here. I think she looks really nice. And 1x4 scale, funnily enough, $274 only. So my recommendation over here is to get 1x4 at $274. Seated version, which I am not clicking on it, is something edgy, something with no clothes on. This is all you need, man. So let's look at this one single picture over here and zoom in. What do you think about the face? Personally, I like it a lot. Yeah. And I am not even a big fan of free run, not at all. If I have to be honest, I did not like the anime free run at that much. Yes, I am one of those with an unpopular opinion. I did not like it because I almost fell asleep watching it several times. Yeah, and until today, I have not finished the anime yet. I'm taking a very slow approach. Like I watch one episode every 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah, and now I'm stuck at episode 12, 13 or so. I have not finished it yet. Like the pace is way too slow to my liking. I don't care whether this is ranking number 1 in my anime list or whatever. Like those anime rankings, they are being manipulated. People will say this is my favorite anime, so they go and spam vote the thing and make sure that their favorite anime is on top somehow and make sure that it surpasses someone else's favorite anime. It is BS, man. These anime rankings, they don't mean a thing to me at all. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. From Yaoling Zhao Studio, we have Marcel from Delicious in Dungeon. It is about time some third-party figure companies started looting Marcel, right? Yeah, it is about time. Now, I can see some people liking this figure. Not me though. $156 only, man. That is incredible value. I won't complain about this figure's existence. I think she looks great, both from in front and from behind as well. Yeah, $156 is a really good buy. Let's hope that they get the face done right, because I have never heard of this studio before. Okay, moving on to the next figure. We only have 2 Genshin figures this week, and the first one is an early bird pre-order. We don't have many pictures yet. Yeah, Ningguang from Genshin Impact by Candy House Studio, and I think you guys can already tell from this one single teaser picture that this is a realistic face. There is a lingerie bikini version. Oh, we have quite a number of pictures over here, so let's have a look. No, they are not showing the face yet. Teaser pictures. No, if you want a figure of Ningguang, just buy the one by Apex and that is all you need. Yeah, the Apex Toys version, very expensive to ship, but really worth it. Moving on to the next one, PP Jiang Studio. PP Sauce Studio. Yeah, Jiang is sauce in Chinese, by the way. PP Sauce Studio, we have Helpless Shenhe for $239, not yet confirmed. Basically, just Shenhe wearing dress in a missionary position. Not the kind of thing I would buy. Yeah, I don't. But back then, I think a few months ago, right, figures like this were extremely common. Genshin figures like this. Now we're seeing lesser of them because we have something new on the block, a new kid on the block becoming popular. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. The next one over here, I think we have 2 or 3 Honkai Star Rail figures, and this is a good one over here. 1x4 scale March 7th for only $316. If you want something smaller, 1x6 scale is going for $227. Okay, so this is among the best looking March 7 figures yet. So far, top 3 best looking. Yeah, there are not many third-party figures of her somehow compared to many other characters, you know. And I do think they have a casted off version of this one as well. So considering you're getting the parts and this at 1x4 scale for $317, this is not a bad value buy. Yeah, I can recommend this one. And COD Studio, I think their stuff are fine. Yeah, I've seen a few pictures of their already released figures. I think they are fine. Feel safe to buy it. Next one over here, yeah, we have 2 figures of Firefly. The first one is by Clover and Niren Studio. Version A, $208, $208. Version B, yeah, Broken Armor, right? Of course it is. For $189, and EX version can get both for $338. Okay, now that there are so many Firefly figures out there to choose from, I think my personal preference would be to get one which is fully clothed in her armor with Sam behind, and then buy a second Firefly figure where she is sort of battle damage with very little armor parts covering her body. I think that would be the best combination. You only need 2 Firefly figures, but both of them have to be drastically different from one another. Yeah. And this one, yeah, I think the fully armored version, I would buy the one by other companies, Imagination or one more company, can't remember the name at the moment, where they are giving you a figure of Sam for $500, and then I would get something like this, the version B over here for cheaply. I think the face on this version of Firefly by this company looks fine. Yeah, very nice face. It is because I like the face a lot. That's why I thought of getting this one in version B only, you know. Moving on to the next Firefly figure. Yeah, something lewd, right? It has to happen at some point. By Pink Lab Studio Battle Damage version. So when you lose a battle to someone, yeah, you have to open wide and let the enemy do their thing. That is what we see in a lot of H anime. Okay, this is only $191, not yet confirmed, but I don't think this figure will be expensive. Yeah, moving on to the next one. Alright, here we go. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 8 figures today are all from Zenless Zone Zero, man. Okay, the first one is by Miyin Studio. We have Nicole Demara, $254. Now, the face on this one is okay. And speaking of Miyin Studio, I used to rank them around A- or B+. Their detail level is average. Average to slightly better than average. But sometimes they do have very minor issues with their figures. I mean, sculpt accuracy, of course, right? This one looks fine to me. This figure of Nicole Demara looks fine to me. My favorite Nicole Demara figure so far is the one by Alice21 Studio. This one is okay. So for $254, with all that base over there, that huge diorama base, I would say the price is reasonable. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the second Nicole Demara figure. This is by K9 Studio, only $137 because they are using real cloth, right? And because it is made with real cloth over here, yeah, she is customable. Yeah, the face is quite nice. I don't have a problem with it. And as you can see, her bikini, lower bikini, upper as well is removable, just real cloth. So this one, I think it is a decent purchase as long as they get the face done right. And you know, you can't afford all those ultra expensive resin figures. I think this is worth taking a good look at. Moving up next, we have 4 different Ellen Joe figures from Zenless Zone Zero. This one by Dolphin Studio going for $235. This one I can't really recommend, to be honest. The face on this one looks weird in a way where I think they should really shift everything to the left slightly, like by 1mm maybe. Yeah, the left of this picture. You shift her mouth, the sculpt, to the left a bit, the nose and both of the placement of the eye decals, everything move it to the left a bit, and I think things will look a bit more natural. Yeah, and even from this angle over here, I know, maybe you are supposed to look at this figure from this specific angle where she looks better, and then you rotate the figure a bit, she starts looking weird, right? But regardless, because there are better Ellen Joe figures out there, I'm not sure if I like this one. Yeah. Face problem. How do you face the problem when the problem is your face? Moving on to the second Ellen Joe figure. This one is okay because it is a low budget figure by Miss Studio. I covered this before like 2 weeks ago. And now we have more official product pictures and a pricing over here where she is going for $159. Yeah, I covered this 2 weeks ago. Now we have also a removable clothing version, which I don't recommend. Why would you buy the same figure twice just to undress her? And now we have a full picture of the entire figure. This is what I wanted to see actually. Face is fine. The face is fine. And for $159, I think it is not bad at all. Look at the detail levels over here on her dress. Very nice indeed. This also has a bit of a shift issue. Like her eyes are a bit to the right side of this picture, you know? Yeah. Why are there so many Ellen Joe figures with face problems? I'm not sure. Anyways, I won't complain too much, but this figure, I think she looks better from this angle rather than rotating her, you know. Moving on to the third Ellen Joe figure. This is just an announcement. The figure is still unpainted. This is by HC Studio. And for this specific version, you're getting a realistic version as well, which I don't really care at all. I'm already interested in seeing the details over here, man. I think this figure is quite promising. Yeah, very promising. Moving on to the fourth one. I'm not sure if I covered this figure before. It feels like I covered her already, you know? Yeah, because there are so many figures of her. But this is my favorite version of Ellen Joe figure so far. $282, no release date yet. I think End of this year. Okay, Q4 of 2024. Yes, this is my absolute favorite because for those of you who have been watching me for a while, you guys know I am a big sucker for details, and this figure gives me everything I want in an Ellen Joe figure. Oh, this is... I want this figure. I want it. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh, we have another one. I believe I have already covered this one last week. Why did I even open this tab? Yeah, the Arctic Wolf Studio version. A quick look. Yeah, this is the Arctic Wolf Studio version. But I'm sorry, Arctic Wolf Studio. I think this is my absolute favorite. And the last figure for today, Corinne Vickers. And she is looking good, to be honest, though a little bit depressed. Yeah, she is having some depresso because she needed to show you her garter belts and her pantsu. And this is what the entire figure looks like. I think it is very attractive. Oh, did she steal this bear from Bridget? Yeah, from Guilty Gear. This thing came from Guilty Gear. But anyways, I just remembered why I opened this figure of Ellen Joe from Arctic Wolf Studio, because they are very similar, right? And I think they would look great being displayed together next to each other. This is the very first Corinne Vickers figure, and yeah, you can cast off the figure. Very nice indeed. I'm liking this already. I'm liking it a lot. Okay, and you are getting a second faceplate. This one where she is crying if you bought the DX version. Now, nowadays, I would think twice before buying DX version of a resin figure, but now you give me a separate faceplate for it. That is very convincing. Okay, so the standard version is going for $226 only. Very nice. Premium version $254 and deluxe version $279. Oh, the price difference is so little that it makes no sense to buy the standard edition, right? Yeah. And that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you hit the pre-order button? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, informative, or even entertaining, please give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel for anime figure content every week. Until then, I'll see you guys again soon. Goodbye.